Teams will get fed up. Contracts will be lost as they were, and some of the sponsors will drop you. Things like that. Yep. I see it all the time, man. I see it all the time, Michael. Yep. And you try your best to teach guys, hey, that's not the way to go. But everybody has their own situation. Part of the blame, I'll close in this. Part of the blame goes to the Grizzlies, to Ja Morant, and to the people around him. Equal shares for everybody.
Right. And Skip brought up something, you know, one of the things that I speak on a lot in the offseason is fatherlessness. And this is a touchy subject for me, you know. And I grew up in a two-parent home. And hearing that Ja Morant grew up in a two-parent home, you know, the numbers are astronomical. You'll have 30% Caucasian, 51% Hispanic Americans, about 73%, that's almost 75% African Americans, fathers not in their child's life, not in the kid's life. So Ja Morant's father's been around. That's good. But do we need to take control of that, or does he need to take control of that? Yes, and help Ja Morant out and say, hey, man, let's make better decisions. You know, that's the whole idea. If you got your parent around, you're expecting them to make better decisions. And sometimes it is disturbing that you see people are starting to say his father's around and an enabler in this situation. I want to honor his father for staying in his life when so many African-American fathers are not in his life. But I do want to say, hey, let's make sure we get him going in the right direction, man. Ja's a great talent. I guarantee you, and I hope Deion reaches back out to him and solidify that relationship, not just tweet back and forth, but solidify that relationship so he can have a sounding board, or somebody that don't eat, drink, smoke, or do any of that stuff to get advice from. That's the best thing that I love about Tom. Tom, you never got to worry about it. He's never done any of that. So whenever he's speaking to you, it's strictly from the heart and for your benefit.
See, Skip, you mentioned stress, right? About Josh saying it's stress. It's not the things that people
think. That's family stress.
But I was just about to say, Michael, that's real.
That's real.
That's real because you're being pulled so many different directions. Yeah. Now people trying to pit you against your dad, pit you against your cousin, pit you against friends that you grew up with, that you brought along. So that stress will make you go do other things because now you're off the court. You want to just kind of enjoy yourself. So now when you're trying to enjoy yourself, you are picking the wrong things to enjoy. Right?
That's so good, Key. That's so good, Key. That's so good. Because, I mean, I can speak to that totally. And then you start using it. You start using it as an excuse. I'm drinking because y'all bother me. Leave me alone. All of that stuff that you're using is a crutch. But it is stressful. And you throw it back at your family to back up, leave me alone. I've been doing this. I'm just, I'm taking care of everybody. All of those things. Key, you hit the nail on the head. And I'm talking. I ain't telling you something I heard. I'm telling you something I live. I know you're telling the truth.
So what's intriguing about this is that you both have children, but you both still control their purse strings. You know what I mean? Like you were the provider. But now the roles have been reversed because the father no longer has the purse strings. Ja has the purse strings. So the father is going, he's riding along with Ja now as opposed to vice versa.
Remember what I said, Skip, you're not trying to get X'd out.
No, you don't want to get X'd out.
You don't want to get, I see it all the time where mommy gets X'd out, daddy gets X'd out, the homeboys are now running the whole deal.
Yeah. And by the way, one other thing that was pointed out in the ESPN story, they quoted Jeff Calkins, who's a longtime Memphis columnist. Remember, Memphis, I believe, is the smallest NBA TV market. So Ja is by far the biggest fish in that town. Such a big fish that Jeff Calkins is quoted as saying, he's the biggest star we've had since Elvis. Well, think about that. That's how big he is in that fairly small town. And as you guys know, that town has a rough side to it. It could be
still alive.
He may be. I don't know. But Ja's still.
That's quite a compliment. That is quite a compliment.
But that's how big he is in that town.
Elvis.
Yeah. So it's hard on him because He's got everything at his fingertips. And then, as it quotes a lot of people in the story, is saying,